Good morning, everyone. Today we've got another yoga for runners session. So I have two resistance bands, a long one and a short one. If you don't have a resistance band, that's absolutely fine. I'm going to give you options without. I've also got some blocks. I don't think I'll use my strap today. And you can also add in a weight to this session if you want to. So grab anything you need and we will get started very soon. Hello, are you joining in today? Or are you going to go? Go on then. So we're going to start off by standing. So we're going to start off with our feet exercises. So we're going to start off by lifting the toes up and pressing them down. So keeping the heel on the floor, alternating toes up, toes down. Starting to work into this dorsiflexion, warming up into the ankles, the feet. I want you to step forward with one foot, point the toes and just start to roll around in circles on the ankle. And make sure you go in both directions a couple of times. Go again on the other side. And as we do this, we're building up those mechanoreceptors, building up those communication points within the feet that send messages back up to the brain. Okay, so if you have a resistance band, you can grab that now. What I'm going to do is take the resistance band around my foot. I'm going to add a bit of tension to it and stand on one leg as I make circles with my ankle. Now, if you don't have a band, you can, of course, stand on one leg. You can do it with the leg bent as well. You can do it with this leg bent. It doesn't really matter. So set it up however you like it and then starting to do those ankle rotations. Remember, just be careful because if you're adding a load of resistance into this band and it's close to the edge of your toes, it might smack you in the face, so just be careful. So make sure you're doing your circles both ways. And then we will switch sides and do the other foot. So again, getting a bit of resistance in that band if you're using one and starting to create some circles there in both directions. And now, I was going to say it goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. When we work through these exercises, I want you to work into your pain-free motion, pain-free range of motion. So if you're doing something and you're like, this feels horrible for my body, please don't do it, okay? These exercises aren't designed to hurt you or to feel a load of pressure. They're designed to start building up some mechanoreceptors. So as we are doing things like this and rolling over the ankle, I don't want you to be pushing it so far that you're feeling pain. Here, I'm not feeling any pain at all. Okay, so with that in mind, let's do that one. So you can use your band for that as well. Either we're standing here and we're rolling out, pushing the ankle to the side that way. If you want to use a resistance band, you can loop it around the foot, taking it wide, stepping on it with the other foot to add a bit of tension there. And we're lifting up and pushing the foot out to the side. So take a couple there. And as I said, we don't want to be feeling any pain in these ones. Feeling resistance? Yeah, you should be feeling that. But feeling pain? No. Okay, let's do the other side. Switching it round, using your resistance band if you need one, if you have one. And you may even feel this strengthening all the way up the inner leg. You may feel it in the glute as well. It's all good. We're trying to maintain some stability of the upper body, so you may feel it in your core as well. So we'll take a few more here. And then we'll come to release. Good. So take your band away if you're using one. And for the next one, we're going to do our feet exercises. So I want you to keep the feet down on the floor and think about scrunching the toes back. Scrunching the toes back as if you're trying to pick something up off the floor and then release them. Or like you've got a pair of really nice flip-flops, you don't want to lose them. But you've been in the sea and your feet are all slippy, so we're going to really scrunch the toes. Oh, can you imagine holidays right now? It's been a while, hasn't it? Okay, so scrunching the toes And as you do this, you might start to feel some kind of cramping in the arch of the foot. This isn't an action that we do very often, so it can take a little while to kind of get used to it. But these feet exercises are brilliant, and you can fit them in when you're sitting at your desk, when you're brushing your teeth, when you're waiting for your kettle to boil, anything like that. And think, yeah, I'm going to use this time to build up some mechanoreceptors in my feet. Okay, so taking a break from that one, if you need to push through the ankles and give your arches of your feet a little stretch out, and go ahead. And then we're moving on to lifting up the toes. So it might be quite tricky to see. There's not that much movement in my feet, so I'll show you with my fingers instead. So we lift up, imagine my big toe is lifting, and I keep the rest of the toes down. And then I'm going to take it down and lift up my other toes, and down, and switch. So lift up one, lift up the others, lift up one, lift up the others. That's the first exercise. And then we're going to change it to lifting up from the outside, all the way in, and coming down, and then lifting the other direction as well. So it can feel like a bit of a brain game as well, and you might want to be looking at your feet just to see what they're doing and make sure they're doing what they're told. Okay, so starting then with the feet to the floor, just lifting up the big toe, keeping the other toes pressing down and down, lifting up every toe apart from the big toe, which stays down, lifting up and down, just the big toe and down, and the others. Okay, so we're going to keep doing that, keep alternating between those two, lifting up, big toes, other toes, big toes, other toes. So just do that a few more times. And again, doing stuff like this, it might make your feet feel a little bit crampy because maybe we're not so used to doing this. I find that as soon as I stop looking at my feet, I'm like, hang on a minute, what are you guys doing? What are you up to? So maybe you feel the same, or maybe you've got complete control there. Okay, so now we're going to fan the toes open, lifting up and back down again. So starting at the little toe, lifting up, lifting all the toes, and then the big toe down, and then see if you can isolate and start to slow down toe by toe. Big toe up, starting to lift up, gently rocking all the way up until the little toes lift, and then we take them down the other way. Lifting up, big toe coming through, little toe down, and fanning all the way through. We'll do a couple more there. Remember to do both ways as well. This I feel like takes so much concentration to do. I don't know what you guys are like at home. Okay, so a couple more there. And release. Stretch out the feet if you need to. Okay, let's work through the calves next. So you can stand next to a wall. This joint where the wall and the floor is going to meet, I'm going to tuck my toes up against the wall here. And then I start to move my body closer towards the wall. It's going to help me to get a good stretch into my calves. So if you have stairs as well in your home, you might want to, another one you could do is to stand on the edge of the step and let your heel drop down. That gets a lovely stretch into the calves as well. So stay with me if you have some wall space. Pushing the body towards the wall. You can change that angle of the foot. And the closer you get, the more stretch you're going to be feeling. We're checking in with this point here. Okay, so just holding it for a few breaths on each side. If you don't have a wall, again, what you can do, let's imagine this is my step. I stand on the edge of the step and I let the heels drop down, and then I start to get a stretch into my calf. Okay, take one more breath. And we'll do the other side. I've just put my block there because my skirting board is all like this and it just doesn't feel very comfy on my foot. But, you know, you don't have to do this. So again, stepping in nice and close, bringing the hips towards the wall, getting a good stretch into that calf muscle. Good, and gently releasing down and taking your block out of the way and grabbing a resistance band. So I've got a small one here, which I'm going to put on like a long skirt, so just above my knees. If you don't have a resistance band, you can actually use a block for this one. So instead of using a band, you can use a block, and think about squeezing the block between the ankle and the thigh. And your pose is going to be from here, coming out to the side and coming up whilst holding onto that block. If you don't if you don't have a block to hold on to, you can use kind of anything else that you can squeeze between that part. And this exercise is going to really strengthen up through the glutes. And we're looking at different areas of the glute to strengthen as well, from when we go back and when we go to the side. So you might start to feel it in different places. You may also start to feel the stability that we are creating in the upper body as well. So get your band ready if you're using a band, or get anything ready to squeeze between your ankle and your glute. We'll find our way onto all fours, making sure we're set up with our knees kind of hip distance apart, hands underneath the shoulders. And we begin by taking the leg up and back, and then we move out to the side. And I want you to hold it for just a little bit longer. Once you get to the top, think about hold and let go. And we're going to do 5 of each on each side. So starting and then on all fours, taking it up and back, lift, hold, down. To the side, lift, hold, down. And back, lift, hold, down. To the side, lift, hold, down. Let's go, keep going. Lift, hold, down. Keep both your arms straight. Lift, hold, down. Lift, hold, down. To the side, lift, hold, down. And again, lift, hold it, down. And lift, hold it, down. Okay, who is feeling that? Oh, I did a lower body workout on Sunday, and I am definitely feeling that one. So let's do the same again on the other side. I'm just going to switch around so I don't stick my leg through the wall. And again, we're just going to do 5 on each side. If you feel like, actually I want to do more than that, the resistance band isn't really giving me as much tension as I need, then by all means do more, do 10, do 20, whatever you feel like you need. Okay, let's go, lifting up, up, squeeze and down. To the side, lift it, squeeze and down. And back, lift, squeeze, down to the side, lift, squeeze, down. Lifting up, lift, squeeze, down, and lift, hold it, down. Lift, hold it, down to the side, lift, hold, down, and up, lift, hold it, down, and lift, hold it, down. Okay, take a break. Or getting rid of your band, if you use your band. If you know from doing those exercises that was really tough and I need to work more into strengthening through my glutes to support my running practice, then another great one you can do is lying on the side and opening up and closing down. You should really feel that working into the glute. I'm conscious not everyone has a band, so we're not putting that one in today's session. So getting rid of that, coming back up to stand, and you can add in a weight to this next practice. So grab a weight if you want to use one. So just to remind you guys, you got this. Okay, so grabbing your weight if you want to, and we're going to work into single leg divers. So if you're not using a weight, that's absolutely fine. You can have your hands by your side, you can have your hands here, you can have your hands anywhere you need them to keep your balance. So we step one leg forwards, and we come into this diver here, and come back up again. And we can bring this knee up towards the chest as well, and squeeze the glutes as we come forwards. So when you're doing this, if you want to bend the supporting leg, that's absolutely fine. The idea behind this exercise is to strengthen into the hamstrings. And in yoga, a lot of the time, we stretch and stretch and stretch the hamstrings, and we don't do so much work into strengthening them, which is super important for our running practice. Many of you will know that when I was practicing Ashtanga, like 6 days a week, I pinged my hamstring walking up a hill because I just never strengthened them. I was always stretching and they become longer and weaker, and I just went like this and it pinged. And hamstring injuries, let me tell you, that was probably like 4 years ago, and it's still not the same. Anyway, so I digress. You can add a weight into this as well. So I'm holding my weight in the opposite hand to my front leg, and I'm folding forward again. You can bend this knee if you need to, and then I come up. Okay, so finding how you want to do this one, and we're going to do 5 or 10 on each side, depending on how much energy you've got in you today. So let's go. Stepping forward. Coming to a diver for 1, and up. 2, and up. 3, 4, and 5. Ooh, let's do the other side. Lowering down. 1, 2, 3. Don't give yourself a hard time if you're wobbling. 4, and 5. Good. Take a break. If you're doing more, just finishing off the set that you're on. The next one, we're working into a single leg exercise again. So I'm going to imagine I've got like a rod that runs through my hips, and I want to keep that a nice level line. So I don't want to be dropping one hip up and down as I'm doing this. I want to make sure that it's quite level all the way. So you can have your hands to your hips as well, and you'll notice if you start to wiggle the hips, the whole upper body is moving as well. So doing single leg squats. So I want you to think about bringing one leg up. You can point the toes if you want to. And then we're going to bend and single leg squat down and come up. So again, keeping that pelvis nice and neutral, coming down and up. And now you might notice that depending on your ankle mobility, as you bend this leg, you might start to do something like this, bringing the knee in, or even the other way. Just notice what you're doing for you, and that could be a good indicator of maybe something you need to work on. So trying to keep the hips square, knee forwards mostly. If it's moving a little bit, that's okay. We're just noticing where you are and maybe why the body is doing that. And we start to work into our single leg squats, coming down and up. 2, and up. 3, up. 4, and up. And 5, and up. Let's do the other side. So again, standing on one leg, neutral pelvis, lowering down. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So when you practice this again, you can obviously hang in and hold a weight there. The reason I didn't do it for this one is because I think the balance can be so tricky that often people want to focus more on the hip alignment and the balance and holding a weight, but always that option is there as well. So now we look at the ankle mobility a little bit more for the next one. We did this one earlier this month, so you might remember. You can hang onto a wall if you need to. You can do this with the feet together or the feet apart. I personally prefer it with the feet apart. I want to sink the knees forwards. So I'm bringing my knees forward in front of my toes. And I can feel that my right ankle is the one that's limiting how far I can go down for this one. If I came with my tiptoes there, I could go a lot further through the left side. But the right keeps me stopping about here, so that's okay. So I get to here, and then I'm going to come up onto my tiptoes, high up onto my tiptoes, grabbing the wall if you need to. Then I straighten the legs, and then I lower the heels down. We're going to run through that circle 5 times, and then we're going to do it the other way. So the other way would be from here, tiptoes, bending the knees forward, lowering the heels down, and then extending. So I will talk you guys through it as we go along. Finding your nice, comfortable standing position, feet together or apart, you choose. And from here, sinking the knees forwards and down, keeping the body nice and upright. Just noticing any tensions in the ankles there. Up on your tiptoes. Straighten through the legs and lower the heels down. Let's go again. 2, bend the knees, lifting up, straightening the legs, lowering down. 3, bend the legs, up on your tiptoes, straightening through the legs and heels down. 3, let's go, bending, tiptoes, lift and down. 4, bending, tiptoes, lift and down. Really squeeze the glutes as you lift, bend, tiptoes, extending and down. Good, give your legs a shake. We'll do the other way now. So, if you're having a hard day balancing like me, just hang on to a wall. The most important thing that's happening is all here. So the balancing is obviously really helping as well, but I'd rather you just have a wall there to add a little bit of stability, rather than be rolling all over your ankles, moving backwards and forwards, losing that stability in your core, losing stability in the glutes. So just do what you need to do, don't give yourself a hard time. Okay, let's go again, this time tiptoes, bending the knees forwards, lowering the heels down, extending the legs. Tiptoes, bend the knees, lower the heels, extend the legs. Tiptoes, bend the knees, no leaning forwards, lower the heels, extend. Tiptoes, bend the knees, lower heels, extend. And last one, tiptoes, bend the knees, lower the heels and extend. Give the legs a nice shake out there. Okay, so when we're running as well, we are moving into the torso, moving the arms to add a little bit of movement and get us some more momentum to be working through our running practice. Often, if you're new to running as well, you can be holding a lot of tension up here into the shoulders. So we want to start creating a bit of movement here. So this exercise, we're going to take a squat. You can hold onto the hands like this. You can do your pistol grip if you're feeling, however that feels. If we lower down, we come up and I want you to open up to the side. And we keep going either way. So when I'm opening up here, I don't want to feel any pressure in this knee here. So I can lift up my ankle as I'm twisting. I'm interested more in this rotation into the torso than what's happening with this leg. So let's begin then. We'll do 10. Lower down, coming up, pick your favourite side. Other side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, and 10. Good, have a break. And remember, this is a lovely one to do either before or after your running practice as well, starting to get some warmth up into the upper body as well. You can shrug the shoulders a few times. And for the next one, we're doing similar, rotating to the torso. We're also adding in a hamstring strength builder. A bit like the divers, we're not using weight for this one. We are doing this slow motion running and using our balance. So from here, I'm going to step forwards, bring one elbow to my knee, and then I'm going to slow motion fold forwards, taking that leg back, bringing the other elbow to my front knee. And you see that I'm twisting and rotating as I'm doing this forwards and up motion. So take your time, make sure you have enough space around you. We're doing 5, if you have time, do 10, but try and make it as slow motion as you possibly can. So stepping forward 1 foot, opposite elbow to the knee, let's go, lifting up, twisting open, and then folding forward. You can bend that supporting leg if you need to, twisting through the torso. Good, coming forwards and up. 2, and down. Feeling that stability building into your right hamstring and your right glute, coming forwards. 3, keep twisting nice and slowly, all the way down. 4, all the way down, elbow to knee. Last one, coming up as slow as you can. 5, all the way down. And 4, release. Who's feeling that in the glutes? Oh my goodness. Oh, okay, let's do the other side then. So I'll switch round so I've got enough room. Stepping the left foot forwards, left elbow to the right knee, or whichever side you didn't do last time. Lowering down, finding that twist of the torso, knee and elbow meet. Coming up 2, nice and slowly, lowering down and forwards. 3, coming up and down. 4, and down. And 5, last one, really slow as you can. And down. Oh, and take a break. Good, so we only have a few moments left. We're finishing off with a dynamic exercise, similar to the last one, and then we're going to do our Shavasana if you want one. So this one we're only going to do 3 on each side because I want you to get used to this exercise and fit it into your day where you can. So you're going to come into a lunge, nice and low first of all, bringing the opposite hand to the floor forwards, and then we're going to reach the back leg forwards and bring the elbow towards the knee. So we come up and down. Okay, so look, watch the arms again. I come up and down. Okay, so do 3 or 5 on each leg, starting off in your lunge. Whichever foot forward you have is the opposite hand. The other hand comes back up here. Let's go. 1, lifting up. 2, if you haven't got energy for the jump, don't worry. 3, maybe 2 more. 4, and 5. Let's do the other side. Whichever leg you have forward, remember opposite hand to begin with. Coming up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Oh, give your legs a shake. Oh, well done, guys. Find your way down to the mat. Oh. Take a few breaths. I know that you guys did really well today. There were some tricky balances in there. So if you want a Shavasana, take your Shavasana now. Otherwise, just take a moment to be grateful of your amazing bodies, for allowing you to practice today, allowing you to do all of our running, our yoga, anything that you're working on. And as always, please ask me if you have any questions. Thank you so much.